Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragalia Foundry, a fan channel where everything Dragalia Lost can be found. This video is going to be all about part 2 of our 3rd anniversary raid event, Faith Forsaken. The first part of this event just ended yesterday, part 2 just began today. I will be talking about the story of this event in this video, so careful for spoilers as we proceed, and I'll also be showing off some gameplay as well as highlighting a few of the awesome rewards that are now available as part of part 2. So the first thing I want to point out is, you may have noticed if you logged in today that the 3rd anniversary bonus, part 2, is now live, and as part of that we're getting lots more Wormite Champion's Testaments, another Omnisite to max out a character for free, as well as a Sunlight Stone. This is another fantastic login bonus carrying through till the end of October, so make sure you're logging in daily to take advantage of that. Of course, the other big piece of news with this event is, well, in the first part we all got a free 5-star playable Harl. In the second part, you get to choose your own adventure, or I guess I should say choose your own adventurer, or maybe dragon. You get to actually pick any 5-star among this pool, or any other adventure, but I'd strongly encourage you to go for a 5-star. And likewise among this pool of dragons, and add them to your collection. I just think that that is really, really cool. We had this once before in the spring during a previous event with Grimnir and Vania, which was kind of like a mini collab, came a little after the half anniversary, and we got to choose, because there was no welfare character associated with that raid, we got to choose from a spring Dream Summon voucher lineup. Now we have a fall one. It looks like it has characters through about Ilya's banner from last year. I know I saw her on here. So I'll take a look at this once I have it in my collection. But you do need to play the raid event to get this. You have to get 5,000 gold emblems. So you have to be actively playing. And there are some other reasons that you're going to want to do that, which we'll get into now. So I'm going to go ahead and click into the raid here. Faith Forsaken Part 2. And of course you could see Basilius, a prominent character in this event, one who I hope we see a playable variant of in the near future, and I think we may. But something unique to this event is this damage tracker. So by playing the Nightmare difficulty, when playing the Nightmare difficulty I should say, the damage that you deal to the raid boss, who is the Demon Lord Satan, yes, that's a thing in Dragalia Lost now, well, the damage you deal is tracked here. It appears to reset every day, but there's milestone rewards that all players can achieve based on the total damage the community deals. I'm not gonna lie, this is very daunting. It feels like the numbers may be overtuned a little bit here, because what is this, 1 trillion damage that we need to deal just to get this very first reward, which is a twinkling grain, not exactly the most exciting thing in the world. The most lucrative item here is a Sunlight Ore, but we'd have to deal 12 trillion damage in a day, and I just don't see that happening even on a weekend, considering we're almost at the end of this first day of this event, and yeah, this is our progress so far. We're at less than 500 billion, so halfway to 1 trillion, less than halfway to 1 trillion, and this is asking for 12 trillion, which is just madness. So I don't know if this might get adjusted. Some people have suggested, maybe it's going to track throughout the event, but based on the wording, it made it seem like it's daily, so I don't know if that's going to be the case necessarily. If it tracks throughout the event, maybe there's a chance that by the end of the event we get a Sunlight Ore, but even then, I think we need to be doing quite a lot of damage every single day, so yeah, that's another thing that's new and kind of cool, but might be a little bit overtuned right now. One other thing I want to share is when it comes to the event perks, of course, you have your usual raid boosts and rare raid boosts that you have to actually play the event to get, but you also have adventure perks, in this case, for the Apostle Adventurers. So those adventurers are going to deal more damage and have enhanced defense in the event, and also they will start with their sigils release. So they're fantastic characters to bring to this event if you have them. Harl's another good choice if you got him in part 1, because he does have the Demon's Bane, and that does work against the raid boss here. It is a neutral element raid boss, so I've yet to take on Nightmare. We're going to do that together in this video. As usual, in addition to Nightmare being good for the cumulative damage awards, you do want to do this at least once per day for the Grand Bounty, and I see that I'm short 1 Getherwing, so we will tap into the bountiful Ethon Ashes that I have here, and make sure we have our 1 wing to get that done. But before we get into the battle, I do just want to kind of comment on the story. I don't think I'm going to go as in-depth, since I think the first half of the story had a lot more mystery. This felt like more of the resolution to me. But I will say that I really appreciated just the fan service in this story. The fact that we saw so many different places in the world of Dragalia, so many different characters, even those from the gacha, play minor but important roles. The fact that we got this incredible moment, an endearing moment, with the revival of the Archangels and their bond with the Apostles. Like, I really ended up feeling emotionally connected to that in a surprising way. And even the vengeance of Harl upon Loki. It was a little sad we didn't get to see Loki's true form, but I still found it to be pretty satisfying overall. It really explicitly spelled out a lot of the questions I had in part 1. So things like, why is Auriga trying to revive Satan? What is Loki's role in all of this? Is Loki allied with the progenitor or allied with Auriga, who opposes the progenitor? How is Basilius really aligned? And it sounds like Basilius was really following after Auriga here. So, and wanted vengeance against Grodd, of course, which is a huge thing that's developed here. The pin-on Basilius dynamic, too. Michael and Basilius's relationship. Like, this had a lot of breathing room, and it was really a lot of exposition of things that we've heard about before. The Empyrean War. Who is Metatron? How does Metatron relate to the Archangels and Sandalphon? We got the alternate form of Sandalphon, which, here's my raid team. I did go with the Reborn Dragons. They are effective against neutral element bosses, but just to show this, we got the special form for Sandalphon, right? Look at the background art. This has been the case since the beginning, but with these Archangels, you could see in the background what, to me, is likely to be like the true form for these Archangels, which is kind of sweet with the enhanced sigil, the level up sigil. So just a lot of things answered, a lot of nice little seeds planted here. Obviously, our characters were not going to die off. Like, I wasn't ever super concerned about that, but it did create for some fun moments. Let me see if I can find Raphael here. I don't have any unbinds on her, so she might be toward the bottom. There she is. So we can see her dragon background too, or her true form. I just think it's a super cool touch, and I'm curious to see more. I do hope we get Loki's true form eventually. And one thing I also appreciated, the production value on this event. This is what I was wanting from the previous event where Asura was the raid boss. I just felt like that was a little bit of ground that we'd already tread before. Even though Michael was the boss battle last time, and that was kind of cool. Well, it just goes by so fast, and this time it turned out Lilith was the boss battle, and our raid boss is Satan itself, I suppose. But yeah, this to me was the high production cinematic boss fight. I only played it up through EX difficulty so far, but the cutscenes in this are just chef's kiss. I mean, it's really on another level. I think it rivals or surpasses Morsiati and Elysium raid fights for sure, and Kronos Nyx. As far as the visual presentation, hopefully we can get into a room here with quick play, but yeah, you'll see in just a second when we get in here, but I really enjoyed that about this event, and I'm excited to just play it with different characters, to see the little cutscenes of them showing up, and then having the specialized cutscenes of the Apostles. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how this event was handled. Considering we get a free character for our choice, we've had all of these free daily tenfold summons. It's a pretty good anniversary overall. So let's pause for a second here while we search for rooms. I guess I should show this too, real quick, just in case, so nobody misses it. This is where you collect your Dream Summon voucher. In case I wasn't clear earlier with the 5,000 gold emblems, they're located here. You primarily get golds by doing Expert, EX, and Nightmare. Okay, we'll try one more time. And if not, maybe I'll have to... Oh, connection error. Okay. Let's try again. Well, this doesn't bode well for us getting the 12 trillion milestone, does it? Alright, there we go, y'all. So let's get into it. That'll be the last thing for this video. I don't have really too much else to say on the story, except One thing that kind of surprised me, I was expecting Zethia to make an appearance in the story. I thought that all of her talk about possibilities and the revival of the Demon Lord would prompt her to show up and save the day in some way. So I was kind of surprised that it was just Yuden once again and crew that ended up being kind of the heroes or helpers. Oh, that's too bad that you missed the intro cutscene, but you can only do this in quick play, I guess, so not sure that there's another alternative that I missed. Alright, let's use our little heal there. This is a tough one because in a 16-player event, one would think you would want a lot of buff zones, characters like Gala Cleo, but at the same time, it's a little bit unpredictable who's going to team up with you, so do you just want to maybe stick with a character who themselves is a good DPS? Like, when I'm looking at the battlefield here, it doesn't really seem to me like there are even 16 players. It looks like less than that, or fewer than that. And maybe it's just, visually it's hard to see them. Oh, also, I just realized we're not even dealing damage, because the HP bar is infinite. So, that's interesting. Huh. Well, maybe this is actually a little bit more fun of a fight on EX because of that satisfying damage that you get to deal. But I guess this is all about that meter then that we saw on the event page, essentially just trying to deal as much as possible. So kind of different take for a raid boss. It would be so satisfying to just get a victory though. Maybe we will anyway with like a pre-rendered cutscene, but I guess that means this always takes 3 minutes, which that's quite a lot of time. So let's see what happens next. You saw that Satan can summon. So Satan summoned Lilith, Satan can also summon Yaldabaoth and Iblis. No sign of Surtur or Asura, but obviously Asura was the previous event boss, and Surtur has yet to release in the Sinister Dominion proper, but we did see some nice Surtur versus Peng Lai content. I was thinking earlier today that it's funny how we started and where we are. In the first Dragalia Lost event, we were trying to prevent the revival of Fraganoth, a giant turtle. And now, 3 years later, it's like, yes, the Demon Lord Satan is being revived. Okay, this is gotcha. Okay, I accept. But things escalated pretty quickly, didn't they? Alright, well, somebody gave up, so I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe it's about, like, saving Getherwings, yet contributing damage to the overall count? Not sure. We're almost at the end here though, so we'll power through. And clearly I have not been minding the AoEs on the ground too much. I've not been paying close attention to them. But yeah, the summons in the earlier difficulties will make it so that Satan is invulnerable until you defeat them, which does kind of fit with the story in the end. Alright. And we're out of time. Oh, that's a little bit of a anticlimax kind of to me, because in the lower difficulties it's so cool and cinematic. Obviously our stats are low, so we're not dealing a lot of damage here. Oh, well that's ominous. Look at this. I mean, you see what I'm seeing, right? Okay. Kind of creepy. I'm kind of, you know, it's the spooky month. But anyway, we'll move on. I do want to show one EX battle if I can, because I just think it's fun. Oh, there's trials? Alright, y'all. Well, there may have to be a second video here for Omega and for the trials at some point, because I was not even considering that. But we'll do an EX battle in our own room, so that we can just see and get to enjoy the cinematics of the fight, and that'll basically be it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this raid event as well as part 1. I'd be curious to hear what people's thoughts are on the story. I'm wondering how the main campaign is going to kind of pick up after this, but here's what I really wanted to show. Look at that sweet, sweet cutscene with the boss descending the party, and then we're going to get another shot of the apostles. That is one of the best shots in this game. We don't get to see that type of 3D animation that often, so you love to see it. And do we just go auto here? It'll probably be fine, right? Now, let's play it out. Okay, obviously we took a hit. Not great. Not off to a great start. But look, we can heal ourselves, and we also just chunked half of the HP bar there with one attack. So that's good. Staggered boss, and then we get to call upon Nevin in this case. And there are different allies that you can call upon, and some of the summons, or some of those animations, call upon all of them at once, which I really like. Okay, Summon Truth is Yaldabaoth. We'll Tactical Skewer again. And now Summon Isolation, of course, is going to be Iblis. Okay, we're just too overpowered. Maybe if you want to see the story, it's best to play the trial difficulty with fixed stats. Okay, invulnerability has been purged. And now another animation here. Yo. Maelstrom of Madness, so... Alright. Angry. Doing some damage. Oh, no! I got the stagger, but I didn't get to use my sigil skill. Alright, y'all. Well, definitely play it for yourselves to see all the different little sigil skill animations. There's one with Uriel and Ferris. There's one with Gabrielle and Pinon. The whole crew is represented. I'm sure there's got to be one with Raphael and Rosarda too, as well as Michael and Basilius. It's all very, very good and very enjoyable. That is going to do it for today though, everyone. I hope that you're enjoying the anniversary, as I said before. Thank you as always for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.